The following video that you are about to watch is a segment from the JT Sports Podcast. You can listen to the newest episodes of the JT Sports Podcast in its entirety on any podcasting platform. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from, the JT Sports Podcast is available. All you have to do is go to your preferred podcasting platform, type in JT Sports Podcast in the search, and it will pop up. Or you can go down to the description or the pinned comment section down below and access the podcast that way. Any video that is uploaded on the channel is available in audio format on any podcasting platform. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure that you guys go ahead and leave a 5-star review and enjoy the video. Moving on, we have the Jets taking on the Giants. When you look at the Jets, man, I gotta talk about Zach Wilson. Now, I already made a video about Zach Wilson. Should New York Jets fans be concerned about Zach Wilson? Make sure that you guys go ahead and check that out. But Zach Wilson hasn't really got off to a great start during training camp. He was getting a lot of praise during mini camp. And like I tell everybody, football is not played in shorts and a tank top. Everybody looks good when they're throwing in shorts and tank tops, okay? Everybody's throwing the ball on the air. Nobody's really doing anything physical, no one-on-ones, nothing like that. You're basically throwing the ball against the air, basically. So for Zach Wilson, those pass had came on, and Zach Wilson has kind of struggled. Now, I've been telling a lot of people, do not panic. This is training camp for a reason. Training camp is for you to, improve. So when the regular season comes around, you don't struggle. So if you're a Jets fan, you rather Zach Wilson struggle now rather than later. If I'm a Jets fan, if I was a Jets fan, I would say, okay, Zach Wilson is struggling, but how much is he improving? Is he getting better every single practice? And this is going to be a really big preseason game for him, because if he doesn't have a good preseason performance against the Giants, then the media is going to be on his you-know-what. And we already know that the New York Giants media does not hold back. The Giants media doesn't hold back. The Jets media doesn't hold back. Like, the New York media is harsh and they're really honest. They're brutally honest, which is something that I love about the New York media, because if your team sucks and they feel their team sucks, the media is going to let you know. A lot of these media outlets for their respective teams, like, they always try to hype up their teams. They try to gas them up. They give these fans some unrealistic expectations. But one thing about the New York media and the Big Apple, they're going to be honest. Like last year, we saw some reports that the New York Jets offense was not going to be good, that they were getting outperformed by the second string offense, and that they got shut down by the second team defense. And what happened last year? Well, the New York Jets offense was not great. So the New York media is brutally honest. So for Zach Wilson, if he doesn't perform well in this game, then oh my goodness, he better make sure that he doesn't log into social media, and that he doesn't watch the news, and that he doesn't read the newspaper, which I don't know anybody who still reads the newspapers anyway, but I think it'll be in his best interest to make sure that he has a really good game, and I think that he will. I definitely think we're going to see him a good amount in this game, try to get him into the flow of things. Like I keep telling people, not every single rookie quarterback is going to come out right out the gate and be what Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert were last season. Those guys were anomalies. We're not going to see a lot of rookie quarterbacks coming in and just dominating the league the way those two did last year as rookies. Every single rookie quarterback has to develop at their own pace. Some develop faster than others. Some develop slower than others. But for Zach Wilson, I definitely am hoping that he has a really good performance, because I like Zach Wilson a lot. I want to see him get outside the pocket on some play action bootlegs, see what he can do. I also want to see him throw the football downfield. I want to see him push the ball. Next up, I want to see how this offensive line looks. Now, the New York Jets have improved their offensive line tremendously. This is one of the most improved offensive lines in the NFL. Joe Douglas has did a very good job protecting Zach Wilson, or trying to protect them. Now, you still do have some kinks. I'm not really sold on your center position. You have a question at one of your guard spots, but overall, this is a very solid offensive line. You bring in Morgan Moses. You have Mekhi Becton at your other offensive tackle spot. You trade up for offensive guard Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC. So I like how this offensive line is looking. I want to see how it looks in this preseason game. Who's going to be RB1? You got LaMichael P. Ryan, Telvin Coleman, and rookie Michael Carter. Now, Michael Carter has been getting a lot of praise ever since he first got drafted by the Jets. Had a really good rookie minicamp, had a really good training camp up to this point. So it looks like we have a battle between three guys who could be the starting running back on this team. LaMichael Pirine, I think he has some potential. I think Tevin Coleman is also really good also, but I think that if Michael Carter ends up breaking down this game, then I think we're definitely going to see him in the league in terms of that RB1 role. Tight end is the position that I haven't really seen a lot of people focus that much on. I'm intrigued in watching it because I'm a big Chris Herndon fan, being a Miami Hurricane myself. He was a very good player for the Miami Hurricanes. Then his rookie season for the New York Jets, he had one of the better rookie seasons that I've seen from a rookie tight end in recent memory. And then after that, he kind of fell off the face of the earth because he has kind of been ignored in the offense. Well, when you look at offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur, and he's bringing in that Kyle Shanahan, like Matt LaFleur system, those guys heavily target their tight ends. So if he takes anything from his brother or Kyle Shanahan, we're probably going to see the tight ends be featured a lot more in this offense than what it has been in the past. So you have Chris Herndon. I think he's the most talented tight end on this roster. You got Ryan Griffin. You got Tyler Kroft. You got Trayvon Wesco. And you got rookie tight end out of Ole Miss, Kenny Yabo. Now, Kenny Yabo may be the most athletically gifted tight end in this tight end room, but I don't really know how good he actually is. He's kind of a little bit raw when it comes to being able to run routes, and his hands aren't really all that consistent. Now, Elijah Moore is a key player that I'm going to be watching for the New York Jets in this game. The main reason for that is because he, Michael Carter has been getting a lot of praise. Many people feel like he could end up having a really good rookie season. So I want to see what he does in this game. This is going to be the first look that we actually get to see Elijah Moore in the actual game. Now, cornerback for the New York Jets is a huge, and I can't say this again, I'm going to say it one more time, huge concern. They have the worst cornerback room in the NFL. And I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm not saying this to joke, but you New York Jets fans know doggone well your cornerbacks right now don't really look all that great. Now you have Bryce Hall. He's going into year 2. I was really disappointed with the rookie season that he had last year. Hopefully Robert Saleh can end up having him playing at a really high level. You got Austin there. You got Corey Ballantyne. So this cornerback room definitely is going to have a lot to prove during the preseason, especially in this game. Now for the New York Giants, I definitely am going to be keeping my eyes out on the offensive line because their offensive line didn't really improve. As a matter of fact, the offensive line got worse because they lost Kevin Zeitler. So I'm a huge believer in Joe Judge. I believe in him as a head coach. I like the coaching staff that they have assembled, but they're kind of taking a huge gamble with the offensive line this year. They didn't really bring anybody in noteworthy to compete in free agency. So it looks like they trust their coaching and they trust their ability to develop these offensive linemen who are fairly young. So I want to see how this offensive line performs in this game against the New York Jets, which the New York Jets have a lot of depth at defensive line. So this offensive line is going to get tested. I also want to see how the pass rush looks this year, which was something that this defense, although it was pretty good, it wasn't great when it came to getting pressure on the quarterback. So you have O'Shea Zimes. I think he finally, if he's able to stay healthy, he could be in for a breakout year. You have rookie Azeez Ojulari, who you drafted in this past year's NFL draft. So I'm looking to see what those guys are going to do in this preseason matchup. My players I'm going to be watching for the New York Giants, I'm going to be keeping my eye on the rookie quarterback out of Oklahoma State, Rodarius Williams. I was a really big fan of his during the draft process. I felt like he probably could have went round 2. He went a little bit later. Already talked about edge rusher Azeez Ojulari. He's really athletic, has really good speed, but I don't really know how many good pass rush moves he has right now in his arsenal. Then I'm looking at rookie wide receiver Kadarius Toney. I want to see what he's going to do. He is a really good big play wide receiver who can do a lot with the ball in his hands and the short intermediate passing game. I want to see how he looks. Then for the New York Jets, I'm going to be looking at rookie halfback Michael Carter. He has been getting a lot of praise during training camp. I'm looking at offensive guard Elijah Vera Tucker in this game also, who is another rookie that I'm going to be keeping my eye on in this game. So this is it for my New York Giants versus New York Jets training preseason preview. You guys let me know some players that you're going to be watching down in the comment section down below.